Hello and welcome back. This is day 13. We are almost at the end of week 2 in our 21-day journey together. And today is an energizing flow, and we are going to fly today. So some balancing postures, working our way up to Bakasana, crow pose. So it should be really fun today. I invite you to explore and also bring some blocks along if you have them at home for your practice. I find them really supportive, especially when we prep into Bakasana. So grab what you need for your practice, and we're going to meet on our backs in Savasana. And settle in on your back. Taking a few breaths, bringing yourself into your space, bring yourself into your body, connect. Just notice how the breath is moving today. Notice how it feels, maybe the temperature as you inhale through your nose. Maybe noticing the temperature as you exhale. Just acknowledging again that you are here, you have shown up to your practice, stepped onto your mat. And continuing to return to this commitment you've made to yourself. All right. And can start to bring some movement into the body, fingers, toes, maybe rolling the wrists around. Feel free to take a nice big stretch up overhead. Good. We're going to start with a little bit of core work. So bringing the legs up to a 90-degree angle. Flexing into the feet. Let's take the palms to the tops of the thighs, and then see if you can make an imprint of your low back into the floor. So kind of closing off that little space between your low back and your mat, and then flex or point your feet, but make sure they're really active. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, press your thighs towards your hands and your hands towards your thighs, creating some resistance, traction, core work, maybe embracing a little bit of a shake. Good. Pause, let that go for a breath. Breathe in, breathe out to press. Sealing that imprint of your low back into the floor, keeping the shoulders soft away from the ears. Press, 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 press. So really creating that work for yourself. Release. Do that one more time. Big breath in. Exhale, press your hands into your thighs back into your hands. The harder you press, the more work you make for yourself, prepping the core for all of the balancing. One more breath. Exhale, let that go. Rock and roll up and down your spine or roll to one side. We'll make our way into Balasana, child's pose. That'll be our next meeting place. Take your time to set it up so that it feels good for your hips. Allowing the forehead to soften forward, allowing your chest to get heavy, rib cage heavy. Perhaps bringing to mind an intention for your practice today. Anything that you wish to nourish, anything you wish to take with you through the rest of your day. All right, energize through your arms now. Spread your fingertips really wide. Pull yourself forward, moving into a tabletop shape. Good. And then let's do some cow and cat spine. Let your belly drop down on an inhale. Lift your tail, gliding your heart space forward. Maybe your gaze lifts. Exhale to round your spine, press into the floor. Feel that big puffing action between the shoulder blades. Inhale again to let your belly drop down. Lift your gaze, lift your tail. And exhale to round your spine, pressing the mat away from you. Good. Do that one more time. Your breath. And then come back to a neutral position. So we're going to kind of play with the same sort of feeling through the shoulders, but with a neutral spine. So let your shoulder blades kind of drop together, glide together. Allow your chest to just drop down between the shoulders. Retraction, and then press the mat away from you, just like in a cat spine, but keeping the spine relatively neutral. You're just isolating through the shoulder blades, spreading them wide across your back, protraction. So do that a few times, just really bringing your attention to the isolation of the scapula moving across your back, the shoulder blades kind of gliding together, and then gliding apart. Good. So retraction when we glide them together, allowing the chest to kind of drop through. And then protraction, pushing, gliding the shoulder blades away from one another. Good. All right, come back to neutral. Tuck your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Pedal, wiggle. Maybe a little shake of the head. Good. And then land downward facing dog. Coming forward on your inhale, glide through high plank. On your exhale, shift your hips back towards your heels and then send your hips up high. Good. Inhale again, forward high plank, strong, stable shoulders, strong core. Exhale, shift your hips back like you're gliding across the ceiling, and then hips come nice and high. One last time. Inhale, forward high plank, strong. Exhale, shift back and up, downward facing dog. Good. Look forward on an inhale. Make your way towards the top of your mat as you exhale. However you want to get there. Fold. Give your wrists a little bit of a roll. And shake them out. Maybe even interlacing them. And just kind of drawing some figure eights with the wrists, one direction and then go in the opposite direction, just prepping the wrist to take a little bit of weight. All right, release that, bend into your knees and roll yourself up. Make your way into your mountain pose, Tadasana. Land, feet on the ground. Palms together in front of your heart center. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Release your palms down. And let's flow. Inhale to reach up, look up. Exhale to fold forward. Fingertips to the floor. Maybe you're using your blocks today. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Do that again, feeling that length across the hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we fold. Good. Sending your hips nice and low. Let's take Utkatasana. Reach your fingertips forward. Maybe they sweep up. Good. Nice and strong through those legs. Soft through your shoulders, soft through your jaw. Stay for one more big breath in. Exhale to fold. Lift halfway, inhale. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees, step your left leg far back onto your mat, keeping that left heel nice and high. Set yourself up for your runner's lunge. So scissor inner thighs in towards the center, create a nice, strong, solid base, and then sweep your fingertips back behind you, palms rotate down. Good. As if I'm kind of pulling your fingertips back. Feel the length across your chest. Good. All right, from here, we're going to fly forward. So maybe taking a little bend into that back leg and then spring forward, float, fly, toppling tree. Good. If you need a couple of goes to get into it, play with that. Keeping those arms, those wings nice and strong to support here. Good. Take one more big breath in. On your exhale, bend into your front knee, float that back foot to back down, and then sweep your arms up for crescent lunge. Good. Finding this sense of flight and floating as you move through those shapes. Soft through the shoulders. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, open it up to warrior two. Good. Starting to feel that heat building. Flip your right palm up. Dance your warrior back. Exalted warrior. And stay in that lunge. Nice. Big breath in. Exhale, windmill your hands down to frame your front foot. Pick up the back heel, step back. High plank. Full breath in. As you exhale, from your knees or not, lower halfway, chaturanga. Let's take baby cobra on an inhale, reaching your heart forward, long, strong legs. Exhale through tabletop and downward facing dog. Big breath in and a big breath out. Inhale to sweep your left heel high up. Exhale, draw that knee forward, step through, set yourself up for your runner's lunge on the second side. So pick the back heel up nice and high. Feel that scissoring action of your inner thighs. And then when you feel nice and sturdy here, sweep your fingertips back. Palms face down. Building that fire through the front leg. Opening across your chest. Long line of energy from the crown of your head out your back heel. And now as we fly into toppling tree, see if you can keep that ribbon of energy going. Bend into the back leg and play with floating forward. Whew. And taking flight into your toppling tree. Like you're soaring above the clouds, bird's eye view. Spread the fingertips really wide. Kick back through that right heel. Amazing. Bend into the front leg. Float. Right toes back. Sweep your arms forward and up. Land crescent lunge. Reconnect to your breath. Good. Take a full breath in. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Land. Keeping that length across your chest. Flip your left palm and exalt your warrior. Dance it up and back. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Windmill your hands down. Option to take a flow. We meet in downward facing dog. Maybe the spine feels ready now for upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, 2 breaths. Good. Come forward through to your high plank. Let's tap the knees down on an exhale. Good. Keeping the glutes nice and strong. On your inhale, lower halfway to chaturanga, bringing the elbows in towards the rib cage. On your exhale, press the mat away from you. Come back up. Good. Inhale to lower, glide your chest forward. Exhale, press the mat away from you. Nice. One more time. Inhale, lower. Exhale to press. Nice. Tucking the toes, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Good. Looking forward on an inhale now. Walk, step, hop forward to Malasana. So your feet will come to the outer edges of your wrists. This might be a good place for a block if you've got one nearby. You could sit the hips onto your block. And let's just roll out the wrists a little bit again. I like to interlace them and draw a few figure eights. Good. And then bringing them back to prayer. Feel that hugging action in of the inner thighs. And then at the same time, you can press the elbows into the thighs, so creating some resistance there. Long through the crown of your head. All right, setting up for Bakasana crow pose. If this is part of your practice already and you know where you're going, go ahead and play with it. I'll just break it down. So, and again, great place to place a block to just help elevate the hips. You can step up onto the block. And then we're going to make those chaturanga arms that we just had for our push-ups, wrapping the elbows in towards the center. Plant them down like you're going to create a little shelf for your knees. So lift your hips nice and high, and then bring them high up on your arms, depending on the length of your arms. I try and get mine as close to my armpits as I can. And then you're going to bend into those chaturanga arms. And then this is where you play. You might just play with shifting the weight forward towards the hands. That might be enough today. You might play with just picking up one set of toes, placing them back down, maybe the other set of toes. And it's just about keeping the weight traveling forward and your gaze forward. If you have a second block, you might even want to take it underneath your forehead, just so you kind of have that sense of stability while playing. And then if you're moving into Bakasana, play with floating both sets of toes off of the mat. You can go into it, you can come out of it, sending your gaze forward, sending your weight forward, hugging the elbows in towards the center line, drawing the navel in. Good. And then when you're ready to come out of it, step back to your high plank. You have the option to flow or come to meet in downward facing dog. When you're ready, take your child's pose and turn your palms upwards. You could even drape your arms back. Feeling your heart rate and allowing for deeper breaths to bring that down. Good. Slowly begin to bring your palms back towards your knees and press yourself up. Good work. Let's swing the heels around and we'll come onto our backs. So, Bakasana is a really fun shape to just continue to explore. Let's take the arms out towards the sides and we'll invite in a gentle twist. So send your hips over to the right side of your mat and let your knees fall over to the left. So you can play with some of those prep poses, working with the protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades, getting some core work in, some chaturanga push-ups as a preparation to play with your crow pose. Let's slowly bring the knees back towards the center. And then send your hips off to the left side of your mat. Let your knees fall to the right. Feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Knowing that it is always there to support you, even as you experiment with floating and flying through some of these shapes. You always have the ground to support you. Good. Slowly bringing everything back towards the center line. And then come into a comfortable resting shape, whatever that looks like for you. And palms might turn upwards to receive. Or maybe if you need to feel grounded after all of that flying, you could bring your palms on your body, one hand on belly, one hand on chest. Know that it is okay and safe to fall. This is part of the process of being a human being. We may fall down sometimes when we try to fly. But through this practice, we learn more about ourselves and more about how we can move through the world without fear of flying, without fear of taking up space. Because we know that we can always get back up again. Acknowledge yourself for playing today, for experimenting and exploring and showing up. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of your day.